What's going on, YouTube? We're your hosts, live with Enrique.
Ariana.
How are you guys doing? Oh, look at us. Wow. Little bright bus. Okay, we look cute. How you doing today, babe? How's your day?
Good. I just woke up from a nap.
Wow.
It was one of those days.
And you still look flawless. Wow.
Thanks.
That's not fair. I don't even look that good.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, stop. You gaslighting me now, baby.
Is it really that yellow?
No, it's probably just the TV. Folks, if you want to know what she's talking about, we're actually viewing ourselves via the TV above the camera. So that way, you know, we have a visual of what we look like.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool, right?
Did you guys ever incorporate it in your quit playing?
Well, we're actually playing video games on the TV,
yeah,
so
right.
we
You
can't
would
really
need, like,
display.
another TV.
Yeah, but we did it for the
maybe.
live stream that we did for the university in Pachanga. Marina and I had themselves displayed along with the comments or the live chat that was coming through. But speaking of live chat, folks, on our pilot, we didn't have this function, but thank you for joining us. For those who did join us on our pilot. Woo! And yeah, thank you for joining us on episode 1 of Mixed Media. We do have the live chat function available, so if you want to stop in and here say hi, or if you want to say hi, feel free to chat it up with us. But yeah, today's episode is going to be on our successes and our failures as professionals in our field. Yeah, I just thought it was important because, you know, I talked about this with Marino, and I'm just like, it's important that we acknowledge and pat ourselves on the back for our successes, because sometimes we are our worst critics. And sometimes as artists, we can be hard on ourselves when it comes to like projects that we've done, projects that we're doing and stuff like that. And then not to mention, you know, sometimes we can really beat ourselves up on, you know, the failures that we've faced as artists. And I was just like, well, how do you handle that? How do I handle that? You know, and I thought it's something that we could easily share with our audience on this show, you know?
Yeah.
So I can definitely start off by saying, you know, one of my big successes, not biggest, I guess you can call it biggest success, but one of my recent successes I couldn't have done without you and Angie. I recently just won a competition for Adorama and a challenge that they had. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was super fun just doing it. I know sometimes my subjects don't have too much fun with me on set, but
like you, I guess I've realized you know what you want, and I mean, you won.
I still think it was like luck. I don't understand, because there's so many food photographers out there, professional food photographers that, you know, are out there creating such beautiful content. And when I look on the website, I'm like, my image won? Like, what? So it's like that was one of the successes that I had a hard time accepting, because I'm just like in disbelief. Like, yo, I'm not even a professional food photographer, and I happen to win a food photography challenge. And it was a surreal moment, because, you know, I even said it on my YouTube video or on the live stream that I had with Marino and Quit Playing. The intention wasn't to win. I just wanted to spread the message, create no matter what, you know, because I love that message. It's sort of hit close to the heart, because I started creating content before I saw this message. And I was like, I just have to create, you know, I just want to create. I want to end this year on a good, strong high note, you know. And then to see that, it was sort of, I felt what, like, the universe telling me, like, you're on the right path.
No, yeah, and I think that's the beauty of competitions, is like it's anyone can win, you know, and it's just like whether you are more skilled in that type of, well, for this instance, photography, or if you have no experience, regardless, it really just comes down to the judges or the people who are reviewing it, of, you know, their opinion. Yeah, pretty much, you know,
because it like we did discuss on the pilot episode, a lot of art is more so subjective, you know, and I completely agree with you. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I could definitely mention one of my early successes with, you know, H&M and making season launches with them, or like videos, ads with our good friends Tom and Money. I love you guys if you happen to ever see this. But yeah, like the photo shoots that we've done, and especially for like H&M and stuff like that, like it was fun. It has been fun, and that has been a success because bottom line, when I started working in the retail store, it's a funny story. When I applied, that was at the time when I was modeling and I wanted to be a model for H&M.
Mm-hmm.
Although I had photography experience and I went to school for photography, I enjoyed being in front of the camera. But then something happened on the line with you where you're like, no, your passion is photography. You should follow your passion. And now I happen to do photography for H&M, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I don't know. I love those successes and I love being able to say that I have done so. But I feel like this Adorama challenge, it was just more exciting, or feels more of a bigger accomplishment. I think it's because it's like within my field and it's like a camera company or like a tech company that happens to sell camera gear, and they have like shows hosted by Nigel Barker. Like,
it kind of like lit that fire for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what lit the fire for me to make YouTube videos again. I think it was just more so live streaming because I did want to start this show with you, and I'm like, we just got to start this show, you know. But along with successes, there are failures in careers. You know, you're going to experience failures, and although they could be taken negatively, I feel like there's always something to learn from failures, you know, and it sucks. Oh, it's actually very ironic. On one of the episodes for Quit Playing, we actually had 2 episodes where we talked about failure. The first episode where we talked about failure, it was a complete failure, that episode. I think it was
I remember that day.
Episode 18, where like you even made us aware of it because we didn't see it on our software, but you're like, hey, your video and audio are choppy. And we're like, wait, what? And we had already finished the talking segment and we're already in the gameplay.
That was kind of like your IT team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Ariana was the IT team.
I was like, guys,
she moderated these live streams just to make sure they were going perfectly. She'd be in the other room.
Reporting.
Right. And we learned a lot, and then we started using Ethernet and as opposed to just Wi-Fi, because we found that it was more secure in a connection, and you know, we learned from our mistakes. You know, although it was a failure, we learned from the mistakes, and we were happy that we failed when we did, because this was prior to promising, you know, companies and institutions that we would live stream for them as a service. Like, we were getting paid for this, you know. So, hello, baby. Welcome to the show, Milk.
Make an appearance.
He's making an appearance.
I kind of want to grab him, but I'm scared he's gonna
fall behind us.
No, or he's gonna run away.
Well, he's looking directly into the light, so I'd prefer he not. Everyone say hello to our fur baby.
Our son.
Mijo, leche, milk. He looks so cute. But yeah, that was one of my failures. I've had a bunch of failures with H&M and their photo shoots too, or just making videos. But although, yes, they're painful, although your heart sinks and you can go into panic, I think it's important to like keep calm. You know, it's a mistake. We're human. We're prone to mistakes, you know. We're always going to make mistakes, but I think it's important that you learn from your failures and mistakes. And Milk, you're ruining the light.
Is he really?
Yeah, he kind of crossed behind me.
No, I feel like it's definitely part of the journey.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I don't know. I have more successes than failures, and I'm happy to say that, because you know a lot of people fail more than they succeed. But that shouldn't discourage you to continue and try to succeed, because even when it comes to like I brought it up in the live stream with Marino. If I think about it in working out terms, sometimes you do your last set until failure. You know. You want to do 3 sets of 10, and then you're like, well, let me do a 4th set till failure. You know, I'm just going to go until I can't go anymore. And that's beautiful, because you're literally pushing yourself until you can no longer go as far as the exercise. And same with, I used another, I guess you want to call it analogy, skateboarding. You know, I'm constantly failing at doing these tricks, but just because I've failed time and time again, that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop until I succeed, you know? And once I land the trick, it just makes that
that struggle
so much more worth it,
struggle,
right? Like, because as soon as you land that trick, you're like, I did it. I finally did it, you know, whether it comes to like a grind or going over like an object or, you know, a trick, you know, you're going to fail, but you have to learn to accept those failures and learn from it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But how about yourself? Is there anything that you in particular are proud or like any successes in your field or your profession that you're really proud of that you still hold dear? And what are some of the failures that you've experienced in your profession?
Yeah, I mean, right now, two are sticking out to me. The first one was my last year of college. I ended up winning the first place among thank you among the artists there.
Mm-hmm.
And it caught me off guard. Like I've always struggled with school because I'm not the type of person to kind of when it comes to art, like you have to do this, and then they critique you. Like I just, it doesn't work with me. I don't know. But I get it though. Like it's definitely,
it helps you grow as an artist.
Feedback, the critique, you know. So
this mother sorry guys, we got distracted because our son gosh, here he comes running. He doesn't want to play. Sorry son, we're having a show. He just rolled his ball all the way over here.
He actually holds it in his mouth. He'll
play fetch. He'll play fetch. Yeah. And that's amazing. And I think we talked about it on our pilot episode. That same art piece fell off of our wall recently. It was so crazy. But yeah, I think it's such a beautiful piece. I mean, I understand where you're coming from because I didn't like too much of the critiquing from my professor. Because, you know, he said, all right, create a story, take a picture of this, take a picture of that. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like, you know, all he ever did was point out what I did wrong. But when now looking back at it, he was very nice. And he was pointing out some things that I needed to improve on to become a better photographer. Yeah, I was taking that feedback negatively, you know, as opposed to more of a constructive or positive manner, you know. So I hear where you're coming from. But congratulations. Yeah, I still give her props to this day because I think that's freaking awesome. You got first place.
I think it was so bittersweet because I felt like I could have done more. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing that I kind of wanted to not say failures, but maybe struggles that I've had with art is that I could have done a lot more. But I mean, I can't really go back in time. But yeah, it was beautiful because I kind of just went with the flow, went with my gut when I made that piece, you know. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel any pressure, which was the beauty of it. And to find out that out of everyone else's, that one won, like, I was just, like, taken back. And then that's when I felt guilty because it's just, like, I could have put in more work into it, you know. So I was happy, but also kind of disappointed. And that's how I've always felt with, like, my art. But yeah, my family came, friends and family came to see me win and receive the award, and it was hanging up, and it was just crazy. And then my mom framed it for me.
It was such a beautiful frame too.
Such a nice frame.
It's like a nice dark wood, like very nice and polished. So sad that it broke.
I know. Well, we'll get it reframed.
Sorry, Mama Lucy. But yeah, I think it's such a beautiful piece. It's so like intriguing. I remember first seeing it and it just caught my eye. I'm just like, it looks like a skull or someone that painted their face that looks like a skull. But then these lights make me feel like I'm going into another dimension, or like the picture.
Someone thought it looked like it was two hands and it was like a door, and it was like a person opening the door. And that's what I love. And I always named my pieces untitled. Yeah. Because I want to know what you think of what I created.
What are you taking from my art piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want any labels I want you to just tell me what you think point blank.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
And the second one was, I just remember this. I entered in an H&M contest and I won that character.
That's right.
Remember?
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of the contest was. Maybe I'll.
It's for children.
Yeah. It was little kids a character.
Right. So it was a cartoon that you had to illustrate.
It was milk. It was
you
kind
did
of
you did a drawing of milk with a yellow raincoat.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah, we have some great successes, and I think we've also had some failures. Do you have any failures that sort of stand out?
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, like disappointments, that struggle with kind of being consistent. And I feel like with this show, as it develops, I know that you and Marino had mentioned it, like holding yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Like this is definitely going to hold me accountable because, you know, you and I are different people and we're obviously in different mediums. So it's going to, even though it's our show together, we both have to put in equal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that struggle of...
You want to grab that?
I don't know.
Sorry,
if I can
folks.
grab it.
Go ahead. Try.
That struggle of being more consistent with my art, and of course I wanted to make it my career, you know?
Yeah.
Not working this like...
I love how you were able to incorporate your line of work with your current job, or if you want to call it career, because you did win a contest with H&M, you know, as an illustrator, because you have a degree in graphic designs. If you haven't checked out the pilot episode to see what we do as professionals, you are a professional graphic design, and I believe you to be a professional illustrator as well. Now, granted, you may not do as much work as you want to do, but I feel like it's not like you can't get there, you know, because you're already doing it. It's just more so, like you said, holding yourself accountable, because it's important as an artist to hold yourself accountable. Like, that's why I like to create urgency for myself as an artist, because although sometimes I'm not creating art, I do have to create content for social media. And sometimes I look into my archive and look back, and I'm like, wow, I was taking such beautiful images and I never really released them, you know? But I feel like now that I've created urgency, I feel like I am holding myself accountable, like, okay, 1 photo a day, 2 videos on YouTube, you know?
Yeah, like when it comes to like sharing, I feel like it's definitely your mindset on it.
Yeah.
Not having that urgency because you think that people need it, but for me, I take it as something kind of like a portfolio.
Yeah.
Pictures or images, you know, those fashion photos that you take that I can look back on and see that progress versus, okay, what are the people going to want to see, or what's going to give me like plus likes? No, at the end of the day, it's kind of like your portfolio to look back on and you're
holding yourself accountable, you know?
Exactly.
And yeah, that's why
more so for you than for them.
For them, right. And that's why I never understood why people then started to create content for the people. And I'm like, I get it. You want to please your audience and your following, because, you know, without them, you wouldn't have the platform that you have, right? You want to thank them and make them feel appreciated, but at the same time, as an artist, I don't think I ever want to get to that.
Control.
Exactly, yeah. As an artist, I definitely want full control of what I'm putting out, because the minute I start becoming unhappy, that's when I start falling off the horse, because then I'm no longer invested.
Yeah, because you then get all those people are on YouTube, like, have that dramatic title, going on a break. Because it's just like, I feel like they're just so consumed at pleasing their audience, which I understand what you said. Like, you know, they helped you get to this platform or your tier. But at the end of the day, it should always be what's going to make you happy. You know, like, don't be like, have ill intention when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
But
and I'm also torn because, you know, when it comes to what in the world? Don't you dare jump on this coffee table. Oh my God, this cat.
Oh, he wanted the ball.
He wanted the ball. He just wants to play.
He's so cute.
He is so cute.
Hopefully we'll introduce him, because he probably won't sit still for like even...
No. Not even when he's in a calm state. Right now he's like in an excited state, so he's like constantly like running back and forth.
Oh my God, we've been struggling. Like this is probably not how it is like to have a child, but we are just a little taste of it. He's sleeping throughout the day, and then come nighttime,
he's
everywhere,
over the place. We get no sleep. Team no sleep because of this dang cat trying to jump on shelves, running around like, oh, let's see how fast I can go. you know, like
he's a very vocal cat.
He is very vocal, and then he starts crying at the door. And now Ariana's been getting to the point where she like slightly leaves the door ajar,
so he can kind of
come in and come out and exert his energy out here, as opposed to keeping us awake out there. But right now he's just pushing the ball. Yeah, he wants to play. But yeah, I don't know. I just find I know in the beginning I'm trying to hold myself accountable and not eat my words. But yeah, I said I didn't want to do behind the scenes videos because you see that a lot on Instagram now, and especially smaller segments of it that people can digest because people's attention span is like very short. Can you grab it? I think he's going to come back out onto the couch. Let's see if he comes on the couch if you grab the ball. So this is what he's playing with. He's literally pushing it around. And he literally jumps. He jumps so high just to get the ball. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too happy continuing doing the behind the scenes, but at the same time, what does make me happy is that I at least am able to create content, you know. At least, you know, I don't really have an excuse not to create content. It sucks because it's not the content that I want to create, but at the same time, with the circumstances that we're in, with this pandemic, it does restrict an artist, especially for an artist like a street photographer and that needs to go out. Some people, you know, follow the rules, others don't, and they will be walking out and, you know, surrounding themselves with others. And, you know, I'm not going to knock what you do. You know, you have to do what you have to do to pay bills.
I feel like as long as you can adapt and be safe, like,
yeah,
you know, if you're walking around, you're not like staying in one place too long without your mask on. I think you're okay because you don't really need to talk. Well, unless you have a subject, maybe that's different. But if it's just kind of like
street photography,
the environment is your subject. Yeah, as long as you're adapting and being safe. Yeah,
but and that's why I said if you gotta do this to maintain, you know,
your sanity,
your career, you know, to maintain the bills, like you do what you gotta do, you know. But for me, fortunately, we still have jobs. What we do professionally is actually a side gig. We're working on making our profession our permanent jobs as opposed to having actual jobs and then having to rely on that to pay bills. But I mean, it goes to show that we're very fortunate to have the jobs that we have because we were able to survive the pandemic, you know, and especially the very beginning when people were filing for unemployment and stuff like that. I felt very fortunate and like sad that the amount of people in the U.S. happened to lose their jobs, you know. It was really sad, but I'm very fortunate that we're in the position that we're in. And today's episode, we just wanted to talk about, you know, what some of our successes and failures are, and we thought this would be a good talking point and a good way to start off the show. I can't wait till we get to like episode 50 or whatever, you know, or maybe if we have seasons.
Kind of how this forms.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely let us know what your success is, big or small, or kind of your struggles, because I feel like that's a little bit more
what people
a lot of people with. Kind of, you know, every day can be a struggle, and just know that that's just part of the journey, and we're all going through it. Like, we completely understand where you're coming from, and like Enrique said in Adorama, like, create no matter what, because whether it's something big or small, it's gonna make a powerful impact on
not just yourself, but the ones around you, because
then you'll kind of hopefully influence them to create something, you know.
Yeah,
especially
for
now,
themselves, and you know,
their limitations.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the whole message that Adorama had, you know. Their top commercial for their because it's a playlist that they have on their YouTube channel. It's Create No Matter What, and then they have like Vanessa and other photographers that are part of Adorama, sort of introducing each challenge.
Oh yeah.
And Vanessa happened to be the one for the food photography challenge, and I forgot the young gentleman's name for the bokeh one that's currently going on. Yeah, there's if you guys get a chance, go to adorama.com and go check out their new challenge for the month of December. The last day, I believe, is January 4th to the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description down below. But yeah, now it's like bokeh. But essentially, their commercial was this mom sitting at the TV with her daughter as her daughter was like reading something, coloring something, or on her iPad, and the mom was watching the news on, you know, the pandemic and this virus, and you know, it was nothing but bad news and things that, you know, weren't good. You know, right now everybody's talking about it, and you know, it's the last thing you probably want to know about, but it's something that it's affecting not only just our country but the world, you know.
Yeah, I definitely say on my end, I'm not really in the loop with a lot of things, which is not good, but you know, I still think like we should all try to stay informed, but also having that balance of not overwhelming yourself with, you know, these.
Exactly. And that's what she did in the commercial. She stepped away. She turned off the news. And what she did is she got her like soft boxes. She got her light out. And then she grabbed her child and she just started taking pictures of her daughter. And then her daughter grabbed, you know, the Instax or the Polaroid to take those Polaroid pictures. And she took some pictures of her daughter with that picture. And her daughter took some Polaroids of her mom. And it was just going to show, you know, no matter how much we're struggling right now, I think it's important that we create. And I think it was beautiful because although they are like a tech or camera company, you know, they did show a mom, a photographer. But I feel like you can create no matter what. You can create a new pastry, a new dish, a new, you know, a plate when it comes to ceramics. You can create a new painting, a new drawing, like create what makes you happy, what allows you to express yourself and what allows you to, you know, escape from our reality. Because although we are dealing with challenges, I think it's important to, you know, take some time for yourself and, you know, create some beautiful
like
art.
that umbrella, and there's so much things that fall under there. Like, just do what makes you happy.
Yeah, like I talked about it with Marino on the live stream. Our girl Jackie.
Yeah.
Friday, she makes crochets and then she started, you know, selling it. She does it because she also does photography, and I believe she went to school for graphic design. I'm not too sure. Sorry, Jackie. I don't know what she went to school for. I think she did,
yeah.
But yeah, and then now
the pots, the plant
pots. The plant pots. She was just creating all these random things, and I think it's just because it was just pure enjoyment, you know? Like you don't have to turn your
creativity off
into like a business, you know? That by no means do you have to do that. You know, do it for yourself, and people who love your work will reach out in regards to, you know, you purchasing your creations, and you shouldn't feel obligated to do so. But if someone does, feel free to, you know, promote yourself, because if people enjoy your work, people will go out and seek your work.
Yeah, I feel like don't feel like you have to cater to a certain type of people. Kind of feel out and, you know, go with the flow, and eventually you're going to find your niche, and the right people who enjoy it are going to let you know, and hopefully that becomes, you know, your everyday and your career.
Yeah, and you get to then create and, you know, not have to worry about going to a 9-to-5. Like people say, you know, are you tired of working a 9-to-5? Do you want to make money and travel the world and whatnot? Like, it's very attainable, you know, but just continue to push yourself and hold yourself accountable as an artist, and continue to create. And even if it doesn't work out, and whatever you decided to create, you know, if it's painting pots, or if it's doing crochet, or if it's doing an illustration, if it doesn't work out, there's so much more else that you can create. And, you know, there are other forms of expression and other art forms. So
yeah, we just wanted to highlight, you know, our successes, but also highlight the struggles, because we know,
because we all struggle.
Everyone struggles, and especially now, it's such weird times, but, you know, we're here for you, cheering you on, and we hope that you guys are cheering us on too.
Heck yeah. Well, guys, we hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Stay tuned. Today is Tuesday. Last week we did it on Thursday. Keep in mind, we did talk about that we do want to do it on Tuesdays. But again, if it doesn't work out on Tuesdays, we will be posting on Thursdays. But you can hold us accountable and find us on Tuesdays. We will let you know a week in advance if we can't make it on Tuesday, and we'll let you know if we're going to schedule it on Thursday. But Tuesdays, 7:30 to 8 p.m. Sorry that we were late today, but yeah, there was meetings and stuff like that. But stay tuned for next week's episode where we talk all things anime. It's going to be a very fun and exciting episode.
This might be an hour long. Sorry.
It might be, actually, yeah. So our live streams are going to go from 30 minutes to an hour. I hope you just bear with us. But hope you guys have a lovely Tuesday night, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.